Hi, this is Mike Zapsik, the butt of many a Tell 'em Steve Dave jokes, and you're listening to the Nerd Blitz with Doom and Fitz.
Hey gang, you're listening to the Nerd Blitz with Doom and Fitz, and I am Doom.
And I am Fitz.
The
fuck was that? The Muppet
That's
Show?
my cartoon thing.
Oh.
No. Every time I do that, you're like, what the fuck was that for? What the fuck was that?
I know, that's like my thing.
I know, why do you do that, though?
I don't know.
It's fun.
Yeah?
Welcome to episode 38. God damn. Welcome, Knights of Nerd Blitzdom! Yeah, I did it again.
Yeah, you did it again. That's okay, though.
I like that.
It's okay.
It seems appropriately lame.
Yeah, it's cool in a lame way.
Yeah. Shit, did we shoot our wad before we started recording?
I guess so.
Do we want to try to tell them what we were talking about and the goofy shit we went into?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, wow, you sound fucking enthused.
I am.
Yeah, I guess. Let's talk about that bullshit. We got my... Ooh, I got real serious for a second.
Uh-huh. You did. Don't do that.
Everybody, prepare, because I've got something to
I hope
tell you.
you're sitting down.
Please make yourself comfortable for what's to follow. Anyway, fuck. That got real serious and somber. I mean, it kind of is. But
Yeah,
fuck.
and now people are gonna think you're gonna say something really stupid and not serious, and then you're gonna tell them what you're gonna tell them, and then they're gonna go like, "What the fuck? Yeah, of course he was serious."
I know. But I mean, we weren't acting serious before when we were talking about it. We were making fucking weird jokes.
Yeah.
But basically, we got my dad's autopsy yesterday. And here's the part where they're like, what the fuck? You should be somber and serious, dude.
Yeah, and it was kind of serious until you said what?
That his brain was undersized?
No, not that.
Or the size of something else.
Yeah.
Apparently my dad... Oh god, it's so fucked up. Apparently my dad's dong was normal for a white male his age.
What the why is that on an autopsy report? I don't understand why they have to get out calipers and measure his dick.
Yeah, see, like we were saying before, it's like, I don't get it. It's not like he died of nut cancer or something.
Yeah, his dick didn't reach up and strangle him. It just seems weird that they like have to make note of everything like that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, a full autopsy was ordered, so okay, I understand that, but at the same time, I don't understand.
Did they take candid nudes and shit while they were there? Like fucking pose them in boudoir shots and tasteful nudes.
Yeah.
Well, you said you wanted the whole thing.
But yeah, I don't get that either, because like I said, it's not like he died of nut cancer or something, so how does that play in? I would figure you would check the internal organs, not the external ones.
Uh-huh.
And what was your joke? Did you make your joke again that you were afraid I was going to steal?
Oh, no. It's not going to come out right. Yeah. It was something about average size for a white male his age, tastes normal,
Yeah.
Proper
Normal
consistency.
consistency and taste, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think it's corner preference whether or not they check that shit.
What, the taste?
No, just to measure that shit. The coroner was also a white male about the same age as your dad, so he's like got his dick out and he's like,
He's laying
okay.
next to him.
Yeah, he's like,
holding both up. And he's like, yeah, it's about average.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
about average, I guess.
Called his wife and was like, "Ha! It is average, bitch."
See, look, I found another one. That's 3 this week.
Whips out his cell phone. It's an old shitty flip phone. He's like, sends it to her, and she's like, "Oh God,
is that a dead dick?"
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And it's just like mine, bitch. And he hangs up. So she spends the rest of the day like trying to look at it, but at the same time she's sort of disgusted.
The autopsy report just says genitals : luscious.
No, it says genitals : it fits. Oh, that's fucked up. I told you I was saving the real fucked up shit for when the mics went hot.
Genitals : plump.
Oh, God.
Genitals : chewy.
Genitals : filling.
Satisfying.
No. Genitals : good to the last drop.
Genitals : female. Wait, what?
Oh shit, wrong body. Delete. Oh God. Oh, my stomach hurts now. But yeah. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I almost want to say this early. This episode's going to be titled Genitals :
Genitals :
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to banter about?
No.
So joke corner time?
Joke corner time. Let's see you come up with something funnier than that.
Oh. It'll be an amusing anecdote a bit.
All right. Anecdote me.
Yeah. Play the theme song. Yeah. No. Doom's joke corner. I can assure you now that is not going to compare. My story is not going to compare to that.
Yeah. It'll be hard to.
Oh! By the way, the votes are in. You lost, bitch.
That's fake news. It's fucking media. Don't believe it.
Anything you don't agree with is fake news. That's the world we live in.
That's right. That's right.
For those at home not following along, I actually did put up the poll for the episode 35.
Yeah. How many times did you vote?
None.
Uh-huh.
How many times did you vote? Twice?
None.
You were stuffing the ballot for yourself, you little bastard.
Now, if I was stuffing the ballot, I would have fucking won by a landslide.
Why didn't you try to court the vote?
Fuck all that.
Oh. Okay then, goddamn.
That's like cheating. I want
What, fucking
genuine reactions.
Tweeting the poll so people see it?
Saying, "Oh, vote for me."
No, you're just trying to get people to engage, dude.
Yeah.
You really aren't good at the whole self-promotion thing, are you?
No. I'm not.
That's why I'm in charge of marketing, huh?
Uh-huh. That's why I work in a
we're
fucking
doomed.
cinder block warehouse with a dead mouse in the wall.
Still?
I mean, I'm sure it's still there. It doesn't stink, but...
Well, you bringing it up made me think it was still stinking.
Nah, I think it's just a desiccated corpse now.
Okay, cool. Anyway, to explain what we were talking about, I did put up the poll about whose Joke Corner joke was funnier from episode 35, and I won by like 2 votes.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. The guy who put up the poll won by 2 votes.
Well, I mean, if I was cheating, I would have fucking ballot stuffed it more than 2. Voting is weird.
Or would you have? Or would you have been smart like the Russians when they hacked the election system? And
Duh, I would have.
They only gave them just enough to win.
Yeah.
Do it too much and the people would be suspicious.
Suspicious?
Uh-huh. They'd be auspicious.
No, because, all those fake votes.
Yeah.
There's illegal votes in there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there was at least 200 or
poll.
300 million illegal votes.
Well, duh.
Duh.
Speaking of
Build a wall.
idiot voters.
What?
Yeah. Speaking of idiot voters, did you see that article? We live in a time where you can't tell if it's satire or fake or real or what anymore.
Right.
I saw somebody tweeted an article that said they're encouraging Florida gun owners to shoot at Hurricane Irma.
Oh, that's gotta be fake. That sounds like an Onion article.
But it wasn't on the Onion. That's what's got me worried.
Yeah, nah. That's no fucking way, dude. No way. Even in this world, is somebody.
But see, the way you're like, no way, no fucking way, makes it seem like, oh shit, that could be possible.
I guess it could be. I mean, you're right. The world we live in, who the fuck knows?
That's what I'm saying. It's like the world has gone mad to the point where something that ridiculous, it's like, could be true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like all these dummies that are staying in Florida when they tell you to get out, and they're like,
Hi, Spectre Vision.
Yeah, they're like, we ain't leaving, but we need all your prayers. Fuck you. I got 2 prayers for you, 1 on each hand. And they're both standing up right now.
Yeah, they're praying as high and hard as they can.
Yeah,
that's...
Is Spectre Vision staying? Did he not go out? Did he not? Is he just batting down?
No, he didn't leave.
But is he like really like in the middle of the shit?
He's on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's going to go up the West Coast, so he's probably not going to
It is, but when he just made the decision to stay, it was going directly at the East and directly towards him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then again, we live in the middle of Tornado Alley that, fucking tornado can hit like a mile and a half from my house and destroy everything, and it's like, no, I'll stay. It's all right. We don't need to move.
Do you remember, what was it, in 2012 when those tornadoes hit out in Sunset Hills?
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, that was
not in that area.
Yeah. No, that was the same year that they hit in Bridgeton, I think, which is like 2-minute drive from my house.
There was tornadoes up in that area not that long ago, because I remember, Hazelwood, I think, is where it was.
Yeah.
The ones I'm talking about, because we went and looked at them with my cousin who lives up that way.
Oh yeah, when I worked at my old work. Yeah, when I worked at my old work was closed the day after that happened because the.
Did the drunk just hiccup?
Maybe.
Anyway, your work.
Yeah, the work was closed because the water was out. The water service was turned off.
Okay.
Because they had the power was out to a water plant or something. I don't know.
Oh,
no, I don't think it was dysentery, but there was no running water in any of the buildings, so they were like, okay, well, I guess we're shut down then.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Anyway, Joke Corner. What the fuck are we talking about hurricanes and tornadoes?
Fuck, I don't
know. Joke Corner. This is the one I teased last time, the tomato fight.
Okay.
I was young as fuck when this happened.
Uh-huh.
So I don't remember exactly how it started, but to this day, you can still see in a couple places around my house tomato seeds that have been, like, stained over and painted over because...
Stuck to the house?
Yeah, inside.
Oh, inside. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Because this one time when I was, like, really little, my brother and I guess we must have been in an argument or something, or... I don't know the details of it exactly, but he ended up fucking chucking a tomato at me over the couch, and it went and smacked me in the eye.
Nice.
And with that, launched like a 20-minute fight with tomatoes all through the house, because when it hit me in the eye, I went ape shit.
Yeah.
And just started chucking them back at him, so we're having a tomato war all through the house, and it was fucked up.
Now, how old were you?
I mean, I know I was little.
And
I feel like both of my grandpas were dead, so I was probably 6-ish, 7-ish.
Okay. Were there
At best.
were there no adults at home to like squash this tomato war, or really like get them?
No, I think it was probably early in the morning, so my dad would have been at work, and my mom might have been sleeping.
Okay.
Or maybe they were both sleeping. I don't know.
So wait, you guys let your parents sleep?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean you didn't go in and jump on their heads and say, get up and come watch me play this video game? No, you didn't do that.
No, because, like, when I was little, it was like 20 years ago when you could still fucking beat a kid. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Interesting.
No, but it's just like, what the fuck do we need to wake them up for?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Although,
continue.
Thinking about it, we probably should have been the type of kids to wake my parents up, because my brother was the type of kid who would fucking light shit on fire and walk away from it in the house.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, mine don't do that, not exactly, but...
Thank fuck.
Yeah.
So we had like a 20-minute... And again, this isn't particularly funny, it's a slightly amusing story. But yeah, we had like a 20-minute tomato fight throughout the house. And I really don't remember the details of it, other than like, when it was over, my brother was like, "Oh crap, we gotta clean this up. Because if Mom and Dad see this, we're in trouble."
No shit, Brainiac.
Yeah. But yeah, that fucking hit me in the eye in, like, blinding rage.
You said, "Fuck you, asshole, you're in trouble. I'm only 6.
Well, I mean, he would have been 8 at the time.
Yeah, well.
But still, yeah. It's like,
He's in charge.
You're in trouble. You started it. Mm-hmm. I was defending myself.
I didn't throw anything.
And, I sort of seem to think like there were little ping pong racket thingies, paddles, that's what they're called, involved too.
What the fuck?
I know.
Okay.
It sounds made up until like I said, every once in a while you can look around in certain spots, you can see a tomato seed.
There's tomato vines growing out of your wall.
Yeah, it's like fucking Poison Ivy's house.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not particularly funny, but it is slightly amusing.
That's fucked up.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember any specific stories, but there's a couple other stories like that where my brother would do stupid shit like that, and I would go like ape shit, and he would be like, "Oh God, I'm sorry, don't tell Mom." And I think that might have been part of it too, of that whole situation.
One time my cousin threw a mud ball at me that he intentionally packed with gravel.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he hit me in the eye with it.
Except, no, it's not.
Yeah. And then he tried to get the hose and was trying to wash my eye out because it had rocks in it and shit. So that I wouldn't go in and tell my mom.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I was probably 6.
One time, I've got a story similar to that. One time we were at the neighbors across the street. We were watching a movie, and then my brother, those two, and their little brother, who was like a baby, all went outside. So, like, I'm sitting in there alone watching a movie in their house.
Yeah.
all of a sudden, the little kid comes in, fucking, little kid waddling and shit, legs moving a mile a minute.
Yeah.
The kid's mom comes to the door and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He looks at me, he's got his fist clenched and fucking swings at me, fucking dirt all in my eyes, up my nose, in my mouth.
Oh, shit.
And she was like, "Oh my God!" And those three, my brother and them, were out on the back porch.
Uh-huh.
She gets the little kid, takes him, fucking grabs me. She's trying to help me wash my face and eyes and nose and mouth and shit out. Apparently, one of them thought it would be funny to have him go through the house and throw dirt at whoever he saw.
Uh-huh. I knew that's what it was going to be. It was with your fucking dickhead brother and his friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yep.
And apparently she reamed them hard for that one.
She should have.
Understandably so. Yeah, I was like 11 when that happened. So once again, all of my best stories come from like 15 years ago.
And all involved like humiliation and pain.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah.
I'm hung like a bull, lady. Is that considered humiliation?
No, I guess not, really.
So, there's some that aren't. But yeah, apparently those are my stories.
Nice.
Again, not particularly funny, but slightly humorous. Oh, Christ.
Mildly amusing.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at some of those fucking jokes I've told in the past year and a half, mildly amusing is pretty good.
Yeah, mildly amusing is a step up.
Can we go back to talking about dead dicks? I got plenty of laughs.
I mean, if you want. Talking about the stiff. What?
Alrighty then. So you did a thing recently, huh?
Yeah, I did. 2 weeks ago this weekend, actually.
Yeah, that's why we didn't record for like 2-3 weeks there. We mentioned that last time, I think.
Yeah. One weekend I was in Chicago for Wizard World 2017.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Which I realized this is the 5th year we've been there.
Damn, is it really?
Yeah, it's been 5 years already.
Wowzers.
It's crazy. But yeah.
That's like 2 years longer than I've been talking at you?
Yeah, I guess so. We went the August before my second kid was born, so
Wowzers.
like 2 months, no, 4 months before my second kid was born.
Wow.
Yeah. So this year, Molly and I drove up like we always do, and
Get a bow!
yeah, the lineup for me was kind of weak. I was going to see Jewel State to get my another signature on my poster.
Oh yeah.
Which I got, and I only have 2 more names left of the 3 that I need to get. One of them I can never get now.
Yeah, Shepherd Book.
Yeah. Which I actually fucking regret. I thought it would be like a nice little, sentiment or whatever, but I don't know if it came across that way, and I regretted saying it. But she said when she signed it, she was like, "Oh, I see you're doing really good on all these names," and or whatever, because I had so many signatures already.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, well, it'll never be totally complete. And I'm meaning like, yeah, isn't that a shame that he died,
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, well, you're doing pretty good." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, she didn't take it that way, I guess. I don't know."
I think the only reason I took it real off is because the theme of this night so far
has been death, yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been so crass so far, so why not
right.
keep it up?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean for it to come across crass. I meant for it to be like kind of like a nod, like, "Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying,"
Yeah. Like hey, sorry your buddy's dead.
Right.
Not like, "Hey, your buddy died. That sucks, doesn't it?"
Yeah, your buddy died. He fucked me out of a signature on this goddamn thing. It's never going to be complete now.
You guys got a fucking rubber stamp or something?
Right. God damn it. But yeah, she was cool. She was kind of nice. She was a little bit more robotic than I thought she would be. Not
what,
robotic like
hello, my name is Julia.
No, just kind of like I don't know. For some reason I thought she would be a little more loose. I know that sounds dirty, but I mean like relaxed or something maybe. I don't know. She seemed kind of
a bit more vibrant.
Yeah, I thought she would be a little bit more I don't know, bubbly or silly or something, but I don't know. But I had my picture taken with her too the next day.
I saw that.
I almost didn't do it because I was like, I'm not gonna go fucking. I mean, it was included with my ticket or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not gonna go stand in line, and because the way they did photos this year was totally fucked. The way they had people lining up and stuff, it was so fucked up.
You mean they changed shit again?
Yeah, they did. They changed it drastically.
Have these motherfuckers ever heard, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Well, I mean, as we talked about, like when St. Louis happened, I think last year they went through all kinds of changes.
Yeah.
The guy that was the CEO or the guy who really ran Wizard, the conventions, like split. He cashed out all his stock and split, and he's doing his own conventions now.
Yeah, what was that called again?
Fandemic, which, by the way, is happening in Houston. Supposedly. Ruh-roh, and it was supposed to happen, I think, in November, but now it says December. I'm like, good luck with that. I don't know if that's still going to happen, because I looked up the convention center, and it's like 1.5 miles from the center of the storm damage.
Oh.
I was like, okay. Like when all the flooding was happening, like the flooding, the worst of the flooding was like 1 mile from this convention center. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if they're going to be ready in December, but maybe.
Yeah, they're talking like it's going to take weeks and months to recover, and he's like, guess who's in town? I was like, nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit. Our houses are gone.
Yeah. See this stick? That's all that's left.
Yeah.
Fuck off with your convention-y bullshit. Nerds!
But they went through all kinds of money problems and shit, too. And that's why the St. Louis con kind of sucked, I think, is because they didn't have money to put on a good one.
Yeah.
And then they actually canceled a bunch of cities, and then now they've added a bunch of other cities, and it's ridiculous. Like, they haven't announced St. Louis happening again, but they gave one to Springfield. Springfield is happening in like a month or 2 months. It's happening in November, and they've got like, between Artist Alley and celebrities so far, they've announced like fucking 10 people. And it's like, okay, good luck. So what? That's your model now? You're gonna wait till 2 months before the show and then start it, and then say, hey, this city, in 2 months you're gonna have a fucking convention. People gotta save up for that shit. They can't just be like, well, next week we're gonna be in your town. Come fucking see these guys that charge $100 to see them.
That's what I was gonna say. You told me some of these fucktards that like they charge 100, 150 or more. So yeah, you gotta fucking save up. You can't just be like, next weekend we're coming to town.
I mean, you could. You could pay $30 and just drop in and walk around. But if you're looking to get anything signed or interact with anybody, it's going to cost you way more than that.
Oh yeah, because the guests they don't get paid like per people or per person. They get a flat rate, don't they?
They get both, from what I understand.
Oh, do they?
Well, I think wasn't Brian on Tell Him Steve Day? He kind of ruined it for me a little bit. The way that the conventions work. I think it depends on who you are too. Well, yeah, and I think it depends on who you are too. Because I know the way he was describing it, it's like they give you a guarantee.
Yeah.
And then anything you make on top of that guarantee, like you're guaranteed this amount of money. So if you don't sell that amount of tickets or that amount of autographs or that amount of photos or whatever the fuck. If you don't make that nut, they pay you that anyway for coming.
Yeah.
Anything above that, you split with the convention.
Okay.
Like the convention gets a piece and you get a little piece.
Okay.
So,
because see, sometimes when he talks about it, it seems like they've got a guarantee, and then other times when he talks about it, it seems like they pay him a little bit, and then like they've got a fishbowl that you put a 20 in if you want a picture.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It depends on who you are and the situation, the contract you sign.
Yeah.
Because I think there are people, like the, and I think the way to tell is the people who take cash at their table.
Yeah.
Don't get a guarantee, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
So like the people that you can actually buy an autograph ticket for through the like the Wizard site, I'm pretty sure those people probably have guarantees.
Yeah.
Maybe they do, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that part of it. But real quick, you mentioned Brian, tell him Steve Dave.
Yeah.
I know we don't normally like talking about that type of shit, but this is funny.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw earlier today, somebody tweeted to Bri a picture of Ming at a con.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
There's nobody in line for Ming, and he's standing there reading a comic or something, and this person tweeted it to Bri and was like, "Hey, I think you'd like this." And Bri quoted it and was like, "Me and Walt both just laughed our asses off at this," or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. I laughed for like a good 5 minutes.
It is real. It is really kind of depressing though when you go to a con and you see somebody's booth that's like that.
Yeah. I know.
I think let's see. There's always a couple every year. There's a few where there's like nobody.
Yeah, because last year I forget who it was. You told me somebody that was like, "Oh, they had to have had a big line." And you were like, no." I was like, "What?"
Yeah. Like this year, I think, like Barry Bostwick, the dude like he was like sitting there twiddling his thumbs a lot of the time, and then.
Well, he's one of those people that he goes to a lot of cons, especially lately.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not like, oh, poor Barry Bostwick. It's like, well, I mean, you're getting to critical mass, dude. You're getting to the point where it's like everybody who wants to see you has seen you.
Right.
And it's like, dude, you're not fucking Stan Lee. Yeah,
Lonnie Anderson was kind of like that too this year. when we got there, she was just kind of like standing there, like, okay, here I am, and but we had our picture taken with her too.
I saw that.
It was too good not to. I'm gonna take our picture that we took with Burt Reynolds, and I'm gonna fucking Photoshop them together. That's what I want to do. Anyway.
There's a part of me that expected you to.
Just because that would be fucked up looking.
It would. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But,
I expected something like that, though. I really did. You're a bastard.
Speaking of Tell 'em Steve Dave, I saw somebody with an ant jersey on.
At Chicago?
Yeah. And then I saw two dudes walking around with 4-color demon shirts on.
Oh, cool.
So this was like the most I've seen in
the wild.
Yeah, at one con. Yep.
Did they say hi to you?
No.
Yeah.
No, and I didn't say hi to them either.
You're like, fuck those guys.
But I have a 4-color demons patch on my backpack.
Oh, that's where you put it?
Yeah, the little one.
Yeah.
Just the little one. So I don't know if they saw that or not, but they were kind of looking at me like they may have seen it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't say anything to them.
Yeah, that would kind of be weird.
Yeah, it would be kind of weird.
Huh.
So the lineup was kind of light for me.
Yeah.
But then Molly's lineup was super heavy. Like they had all the fucking Doctor Who people that you could possibly want, really. Almost all of them anyway. They had
wasn't Tennant there or something this year?
Yeah, David Tennant was scheduled. Alex Kingston.
No clue who that is.
She's the red-haired, curly-haired chick from ER. She was on Doctor Who for a while too.
Okay.
So Molly had wanted to get her, and then she got David Tennant a couple years ago in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But he was coming back, so she was going to see him again. She wanted to see Alex Kingston, and then her other big get that she'd been waiting for was what's her name? She was she was David Tennant's companion on the show.
You're talking to the wrong motherfucker.
Oh, fuck. I can't think of her name now.
Trivia.
I can't think of her name, but anyway, Molly has this picture, this weird kind of behind the scenes picture that she found online, like the first year that we went and she saw John Barrowman.
Oh yeah.
So it's a picture of John Barrowman and David Tennant and this chick, on a break in shooting the show, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of an unusual, like every time she's had somebody sign it, they've mentioned how it's kind of unusual. Like, "Ooh, where'd you get this?"
Yeah.
I think that was actually David Tennant's exact words when she had him sign it. I was standing there. I heard him say it. He was like, "Ooh, this is unusual."
Where'd you get this? Your bedroom?
She had 2 of the 3 signatures, and so she was waiting to get this last chick. But it was like she never does conventions or anything, so she's like, she'd never get that, you know?
Yeah.
And, well, she came this year to Chicago, and so she was like, "Oh, fucking hey, I'm going to get my thing signed." And
she came this year and she got her thing signed?
So she dropped, like, serious fucking money on these tickets.
Yeah.
For David Tennant and Alex Kingston and this other chick. And we're driving up to Chicago. We're like halfway to Chicago, and I was checking Twitter, and the Wizard World Twitter account like sent out this blast, and is like, "We're really sorry, but due to a personal emergency, David Tennant had to cancel."
Oh.
It's like we're 2 hours from Chicago, and he canceled. I was like, "Ooh."
I thought you were gonna say the broad canceled.
Oh no. So she was disappointed, but fuck, dude, they made it up to her like big time. They refunded her. She had a dual VIP for Alex Kingston and David Tennant.
Yeah.
They fully refunded that money, but she got to keep her swag bag, her VIP.
Oh, cool.
She got to keep her VIP admission, but they gave her all her money back. She had to rebuy. She had to rebuy Alex Kingston's autograph and photo that was included in the VIP. She had to rebuy that, but that was only a fraction of the price of the whole ticket.
Yeah.
And then she got to keep the VIP bag, which was it was fucking ludicrous, the amount of shit that was in this bag that they give you for free.
Okay, what kind of shit do they put in those bags?
Well, the last several years it's been just garbage. Like, they haven't really even done them, really.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll give you a free comic and, like, some fucking advertisements and shit in this bag.
Okay.
Dude, this year, like, the big VIPs, like, my VIP didn't come with shit. It came with, like, a fucking Pokemon cup and a fucking pair of Groot socks.
Oh, so it's basically like a fucking loot crate. Kinda. Where it's like, hey, it's Harry Potter themed. Here's a fucking Harry Potter pencil case.
Yeah,
and like an eraser in the shape of a lightning bolt.
Yeah, like hers was all Doctor Who themed. They had special shit for the Doctor Who VIPs.
Okay.
Dude, she got like a fucking electronic talking cookie jar, a fucking talking plush David Tennant doll, a fucking sonic screwdriver toy. All this,
the fuck is the sonic screwdriver?
It's like his little fucking Doctor Who wand. It's like a little electronic device that does all kinds of shit. But the fuck else? Then she got the Pokemon cup and the socks and stickers, and it was crazy, dude. Like, it was an entire big canvas bag of shit that they give you when you check in. So it's like, now we got to carry this fucking bag around the whole goddamn convention. it was ridiculous. The amount of stuff in this bag.
Yeah.
But you get to keep all that shit, and then on
but
top
at least
of that,
sounds like it's half-ass cool shit though.
oh, hers was cool shit. Yeah, like that cookie jar.
Yeah.
She's been wanting that cookie jar. She's been looking at that cookie jar.
Has she?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and then on top of that, she gets free admission to next year's Chicago Con.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and free admission to any and all Wizard events the rest of this year.
Oh, so Molly's going to Springfield.
So if she wanted to go to Springfield, she could go for free.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
You're like, you suck.
Yeah. It's like, fuck.
Why don't I like your lame bullshit?
Yeah. But, I mean, we were talking about it. I was like, can you imagine how much money they had to eat for all the fucking shit they had to refund? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking nightmare that must be for them.
Yeah, because, I mean, not only was that dude in Dr. Hugh... Fucking, hi there, I'm Dr. Hugh. Here's my sonic fucking screwdriver. Not only was that dude in fucking Doctor Who, which has like a huge following, but like he was in Potter.
Oh yeah.
What's that fucking murder mystery show he was in that was real popular? Like, was it Broadchurch?
Broadchurch, yeah.
He was in that, and that was fucking huge.
Yeah. Oh, it's insanity. Like when I can't even imagine what the lines in Chicago would look like. The line for him in St. Louis. Well, first of all, when you get your VIP, I think in St. Louis it was, I think he was here Saturday and Sunday. So you got a Saturday VIP. You got admission for the whole weekend, but your VIP shit only counted on Saturday. So like you had to see him Saturday if you bought a Saturday one. But if you bought the Sunday one, you had to see him on Sunday. Like they split it up like that. That's the way they did Bruce Campbell too, because he gets so many tickets sold that they have to tell you when you can come see him.
Yeah, or there'd be fucking a line overnight.
Yeah. Well, in St. Louis, the fucking line was like, I mean, it was the entire, I mean, this whole like warehouse or this whole
convention center.
Yeah, but like it's hard to explain unless you've been to this. But it's basically, it's like where you check in and stuff at the Dome.
Yeah.
When they have it at the Dome, like it's the convention itself is inside the Dome area, but then there's like this big warehouse size area outside of that. That's just like dock doors and like support poles and shit, and it's just like a big warehouse. Looks like a big warehouse.
Yeah.
And that's where like the check-in booths and stuff are, and like there's tables for you to sit at, and there's concession stands set up and stuff like that. It was like half of that warehouse of people waiting in line. They had his table out in this area. It wasn't in the Dome. It was outside of the Dome.
Oh, fuck.
So that they had room to line people up.
Yeah.
It was fucking
like,
nuts. We stood in that
Bill...
line.
Yeah.
Once that line started moving, usually the lines move really fast when they start moving. These lines were so fucking big that even as fast as they were moving, we stood there for at least an hour. Once he started signing, it was fucking crazy. I've never seen a line that big before.
That's soul crushing.
Why?
Just having to wait in a crowd of people like that for an hour.
Oh, yeah, but I mean that's what you sign up for.
True, but
yeah, if you don't know that's what you're in for, then it sounds fucked up.
Even if I knew like there's somebody huge I want to meet, and I've got to go wait, and I know this going in, it would still be like,
oh, when I stood for Carrie Fisher last year, she was late. Go figure, and. So they tell you when you can line up when she's just supposed to start signing.
I almost made a pregnancy joke.
But she was like 45 minutes late to her table. So we had already been in line for a half hour or an hour before her time to start signing. And then she was like a half hour, 45 minutes late after that. So it was like well over an hour and a half. We were standing there and standing in a crowded line.
Yeah.
And at one point I was like, I got to get out of this line. I got to step out of it because I can't breathe. Like I can't, I started to like, I was sweating and I was starting to like, freak out a little bit.
Now you know how I feel.
Oh, dude, I get how you feel. Believe me.
Oh, I know you do.
But of all the times I've been in lines and stuff, that was the first time where I was like, fuck, I can't breathe. I gotta get out of here. I can't stand here anymore. It was just where I was positioned in the line was like, I can't stand here. I can't, it's too close. These people are standing too close to me. I felt trapped. Like I couldn't get out. It was the people were so dense.
That was me in December.
Yeah, but that was, yeah, I get you.
I know. I
get you.
mean, yeah, I mean,
I get you.
Trust me, it's no comparison. Like there was only like two people.
I was
gonna
say there was like you were surrounded by like 4 people, and you're like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Exactly.
It's
That's
like
what I was saying. I mean,
it's like, dude, take a step to the left.
Way,
You're okay.
Well, I mean, you were on the left of me, so I couldn't do that either. So fuck you. It wasn't 4 people. It was 5.
Oh, sorry.
But I mean, seriously, that's what it was like for me in December.
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah, we both had harrowing experiences last year.
Oh, they had you had to go through metal detectors again this year to get in.
I can see why.
Yeah, well, you would think like the first 3 years we went, they didn't have them. You just walk right in. And in St. Louis, they still don't have them. You just walk right in. But
that's
Chicago,
strange to me.
Well, dude, it seems like, oh, that's good. They're really focusing on people's safety and making sure no crazies walk in with bombs and shit. Okay, well, you walk up to the fucking thing, and I mean, I don't know where they get these people that work these security checkpoints, but I'm guessing many of them don't have high school diplomas.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, bags on the table, everything out of your pockets. So after the first, I fucked up again this year and took too much shit in my pockets. Yeah. I had like my keys. Like, why do I need keys? I don't need my keys. I had like all my keys. I had like a phone charger in my pocket and all this shit. So you got to take all that shit out of your pockets and put all that in a tray.
So you're sitting there like, well, somebody just grab my ankles and shake. It'll be easier.
Right. They're supposed to like open your bag up and like look through your bags and shit. The first day, she couldn't figure out like where all the zippers opened at. So she just opened the only one she could find and kind of like looked in there real quick and then was like, okay. I went through the metal detector, put all my shit back in. So the next day.
And it's like, motherfucker, act like you're a gynecologist.
Actually, you know what? First day, I don't think she looked at all. I don't think she looked in the bag at all.
So you're safe.
Yeah, so I don't think she looked in that bag at all. And it was the second day where the chick was like going to look through the bags and shit. And she like couldn't figure out how one of the zippers opened. So she was like, fuck it. Didn't look in that pocket. I was like, well, I'm glad I don't have a fucking gun in there. I mean, I guess, but yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. Like the sham of the security checkpoints they have there.
Yeah. Like you're safe. How does this zipper work? Fuck it, go.
Yeah, don't look in there. So the trick was then after that was like my phone charger and my keys and all that shit. I just put it in my backpack. and that way I didn't have to take it out of my pockets. And
you put it in the pocket she couldn't unzip.
Yeah. So, and even the one she did unzip, she just like looked in it like real quick. Like it's not like she opened it up and really like looked in there and see. And the thing is, I had a comic book box in that, which is like a hard cardboard box about, I don't know, like roughly the shape of a book. a little bit bigger than a book, and thicker than a book. So you could put like, I don't know, about 15, 20 comics in it.
Yeah, it's one of those comic boxes that I sort of like what I showed you, and you said, "Oh, I've got some of those."
Oh yeah, like a folio or something, like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It's basically, it almost looks like a slip case for like a hardcover book, right?
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
And it's like, she didn't open that. She didn't open that to see what was inside that. Could have been a fucking Glock inside there.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, this is just really kind of just a nuisance, isn't it? Because nobody's really checking anything.
But see, then imagine if like they were really checking it hardcore, and then you'd be like, fucking invade my privacy and shit. You know?
I wouldn't give a shit. I would be more pissed that the line was fucking 500 people long because it takes 20 minutes to investigate everybody's bags, because every asshole in the place has everybody in the place has a fucking like a hiking backpack and a fucking roll around suitcase, and it's like, what do you need all this shit for? Or like one of the guy,
so much fun.
Or like one of the guys, there's always several of these fucking assholes too at every con, where it's I don't know what. Sometimes it's like a dealer, like somebody who has a store, and they're getting shit signed. They're the guys that have they literally have like a short box or two short boxes of comics on a fucking dolly, and they're just wheeling those around everywhere, getting them signed and like filling up their boxes with shit that they buy. And it's like, asshole, it's not crowded in here or anything. What the fuck are you doing with a cart full of shit rolling it around?
Oh, so
well, this guy this time was standing in line with us for John Cusack while he got something signed for.
What a random fucking weird pull that is.
Isn't that weird? It was like, oh my god, John Cusack's coming. So she got a. Have you ever seen One Crazy Summer?
I don't think so.
Well, in it, he's like, one of his character's thing is he's a cartoonist, and he makes like animations, and so there's like little animated interludes throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Well, she got an original production cell from one of those animations. Ooh. It's because the guy was selling them, I guess, and they were.
Yeah.
I think she got one for like less than $100. And it was a pretty decent one too. So she took that and had that signed for somebody for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, it's for.
Ooh la la!
I don't know why I was like, well, I better not say it in case he listens to this for some reason. But there's no fucking way he's listening to this. But yeah. And so there's a guy standing.
You playing coy like that is so funny.
This guy was standing in line with us for that, who had a cart full of shit, and was taking up like 2 fucking people's spaces with it. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Do you really have that much? What's wrong with you? But
what your problem is?
And it didn't make it any better that John Cusack was like 2 hours late, or something like that, and we were making up all these crazy stories about how he wouldn't come out until there was a big enough line and all this shit, you know. And I think really what it ended up being was they changed this. This is another new thing. Like, you take your printed out ticket with you to the tables, you know, and they scan them at the table now. There's barcodes on them, and they read them with a barcode reader, like a scanner. Okay. Well, that first day, or I guess the second day, the first thing in the morning, their fucking scanners weren't working. So it was like they couldn't fucking do any.
Yeah, so they couldn't bring anybody
Yeah, so they couldn't do anything until they had their shit fixed. So it was like, but then they don't tell anybody that. It's just like you're waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we got there. The sign said he was going to sign at 10 a.m. Well, when we got there, we're standing in line for a minute, and then he didn't come out, and we're like, what the fuck, man? And then we saw some wizard people come up and look at the sign, and they did something, and then they walked away, and somebody went and looked, and they had changed the time They didn't tell anybody. They just marked it through the sign and then put 10:30 on there. And was like, okay, I guess he's gonna do it at 10:30 now.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, dickhead.
And then we waited, and then like his handler came out, or his assistants or whatever that were gonna help with the booth, that set up the booth and stuff. They came out, and so we're like, okay, cool, we're gonna get some action here in a second. And they're waiting, and she keeps going back to the back and coming back out and going back to the back and checking on shit. And she's got another agent or somebody she's talking to, and they're just standing there like, I don't know what's going on. And
yeah, like, don't kill us because I'll go look
well,
again.
and then they drop the bombshell on everybody that if you want to get one of their 8x10s signed that they have on the table, it was an extra $5.
Oh, awesome!
And I've never heard of that before. I've never seen. I mean, sometimes like the lower end guys may charge you a little bit more if you want to take one of their pictures, but like there were people that were VIPs that bought VIP tickets for him, and in the description of what you get for your VIP ticket, and his VIP was like $275 or $300 or some crazy shit. And part of it is you get one item signed. You get an 8x10 signed, or an item of your choice, or whatever, or an item that you bring. And so then they're like, oh no, if you want one of these pictures, it's an extra $5. And people were like, what? Fuck you where you breathe. Like, these bitches were getting crazy mad. And I was like, good, you should get mad. Fucking paid $300 for this. The guy's doesn't come out for 2 hours, and then they're going to be like, oh yeah, on top of that, you got to pay us $5 for this picture. They cost us 10 cents to print out. Yeah. It was like, that's fucking
$5 extra for these retarded little
headshots. I was like, oh, this is fucking stupid. And then he came out, and everybody was like, oh, there he is. And I was like, that's not fucking John Cusack. He looked like fucking Mickey Rourke was walking out. And he came out, and I was like, and he came through the curtain, because he walked up the side of the line and then went behind the curtain and came out behind his table. And I was like,
yeah,
oh fuck me, that is John Cusack. But he had like a baseball hat on, and he had like longish hair, and it was in like a ponytail, or like some kind of weird ponytail thing in the back. And he had a toothpick in his mouth, and he was all kind of like puffy and old looking. And I was like, oh my God, that doesn't look like. But then after a second, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that does look like him, just an older version of him. But when he walked by, I swear to God, it did not look in any way like him.
Speaking of Mickey Rourke, have you noticed how lately he looks like a gay pirate?
Lately?
Well, I mean like the last 10
years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or like he looks,
and he's always
like...
carrying around that fruit little dog. And it's like, what the fuck? Really?
He looks like Captain Jack Sparrow's fucking San Francisco brother.
No shit. I would never say that to his face, because he would fuck me up.
Oh yeah, with his fucking bubble nails, he'd fucking break your shit.
He will fuck you up, and then he'd probably ass rape you after you were down on the ground, just to teach you a lesson.
He was like, who looks like a gay pirate now?
I'm gonna give you a gay pirate right now.
Yeah. I don't have a Mickey Rourke impression offhand, so it's kind of like...
I don't think anybody does.
It's like a brain-damaged fucking Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
So, Mickey Rourke sounds like a brain-damaged Sylvester Stallone, and he looks like a gay pirate. Want to go on the show sometime, Mickey?
Oh, fuck. I did see one of the coolest things you'll ever see, though. At one point we were walking around, and I was telling you last time, or I don't know if it was last time, but a couple times ago, about how cool Michael Rooker is. Well, I saw him do like the coolest shit. We were just walking through the show floor, like the vendor area, and all of a sudden there was like this big crowd of people, and we walked up to it, and it was Michael Rooker was just out in the middle of the wild floor.
The wild floor.
Yeah, like no security, no handler, no nothing. He's just wandering around, and he had snuck up behind this dude in a wheelchair who was like, I don't know if he had like cerebral palsy or some fucked up, I don't know. He was all messed up looking. And
sensitivity.
he had snuck up behind the dude, and I guess his friend, or yeah, I guess he had snuck up behind him, but they were selling these big bubble wand blower things. They were like electronic bubble blowers.
Okay.
For kids, you know?
Yeah.
And Rooker had one. He's blowing bubbles behind this dude, and his friends are standing out in front of him laughing and like taking pictures, and the guy in the wheelchair doesn't realize that Michael Rooker's behind him, and he looked around and saw him and like lost his fucking shit. Lost his goddamn mind. It was the funniest, cutest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just like a spontaneous, like weird
Rooker
like,
in the wild.
thing. It was like, yeah, and it was like, oh my god, this guy is fucking awesome. It like totally made this dude's day. And then after he like shook his hand and like patted him on the shoulders, like, and then walked off, and the dude was still just like laughing so hard. He was like so pleased and so happy that happened. It was fucking amazing.
And he's like, Michael Rooker was fucking with me. This is awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, again, shows like, dude's fucking cool.
Yeah. Does his voice, does he really have that weird accent like he has in Walking Dead and Guardians? Like real bang da da dang da da dang da da dang da da.
I don't think so.
Oh. So the last few years he's
definitely
just like,
not.
fuck it, we gonna talk like this now. In all his movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think the
shit?
Walking Dead accent is way put on. Like the Guardians one might be closer to his natural voice.
Okay.
Because the Guardians one, he's not that twangy, is he?
A little bit.
I don't remember him being that twangy in Guardians, but
Well, he's in Guardians 2 more, and he's like, "What you doing there, Quail?" And shit,
yeah, I don't think he doesn't really talk like that from what I remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I saw him and Muse do a panel in St. Louis.
Yeah, which
and I don't
who
remember
would
talking
fucking
like
expect those two to be so buddy?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I guess because it's, you know, the Mallrats connection.
I mean, I understand that and everything, but it's just, it seems like such a weird fucking combo. It's like Muse and Danny Trejo.
Yeah, speaking of Danny Trejo, I saw him too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was there. He walked right past us when we were standing in line for pictures. The way they did the photos and the way the area, the celeb area was set up, there was almost no private way for them to walk to their tables. Like usually they have it arranged so that
they can
like
sneak in through
walk
the back.
Kinda, and like most of their walk from the back to out to where the tables are is behind a curtain, and then they just come out for like the last, I don't know, 10-20 feet before they get to their tables.
Yeah.
But the way they had it set up this year, dude, it was like you could watch them walk basically from the fucking freight elevator or wherever they come from the back, the green rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
Like fucking 600 yards down this fucking convention area, you know?
Yeah, like I said, have these fuckers never heard of if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Because it seems like they're doing a lot of weird shit lately.
Yeah, they did do some weird... it was definitely better than the way they had it set up in St. Louis.
Well, yeah.
Because they went back to like the regular tables and line control and stuff the way they normally have it. It was just... I don't know, some of it was just weird. And the way they did photos was kind of asinine, but I guess they did it that way so that they... I don't know why they would do it. I guess because of the way they had it all set up, the space that they actually had this year, and
because they can,
or the space they didn't have this year as opposed to last year. Because that's the other thing; it was kind of smaller than last year too. Not as dramatically smaller as St. Louis was, but it was definitely like not as... The guest list was definitely not as big as it was in previous years.
Was Bruce there this year?
Was who there? Oh, no, he wasn't. No, he's doing the other dude's conventions.
Okay.
He followed that other dude to Fandemic. He's doing the Fandemic one.
Yeah, see, I could have swore that I saw something about his little, film festival thing.
Yeah.
But I guess not, if he wasn't there.
Not this year.
Well, fuck-a-doodle-doo. Okay.
But yeah, Danny Trejo walked by. He is like teeny fucking tiny.
Well, I mean, He's Mexican, dude.
I know. That's what I told Molly. Molly was like, "Oh my god, he's so tiny." I was like, "Yeah, he's Mexican. They're not known for being super huge."
Yeah, I was gonna say Mexicans aren't known for being fucking basketball players. They're known for being like luchadors and shit.
Yeah, if he was as tall as Molly, I'd be surprised.
Well, I mean, that's not really a frame of reference for most of us.
She's like 5'4".
Oh, damn.
So if he was 5'5", I would be shocked.
Yeah.
He looked really small, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was him. It was him. I was like, holy shit, there goes Machete.
You're like, Machete! And he was like, I got a name, fucker.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be pissed if you called him Machete.
Fuck no. He was signing machetes.
Was he?
You could buy a machete and have him sign it at his table. He had machetes to sign at his table.
Like real machetes?
Like real machetes.
How is that safe?
Dude, they have weapons dealers there that sell like metal swords and shit.
Well, I mean, Kevin J. Anderson was at Dragon Con last weekend, and he went to the armory, and it's like...
Yeah.
I mean, somebody brings a plastic gun in, you've got to put a fucking loop on it so people know that it's safe. How the fuck can you sell a crossbow?
They fucking do it.
Because I'm sure they're not like, oh, we can't sell you the ammo here.
Yeah. There were guys selling longbows. They made I guess they handmade wooden longbows.
Yeah.
I don't think they were strung though. I don't think they could string them, but the bows themselves they were selling.
Oh yeah, don't string it, but hey, here's a fucking machete you can chop some heads off with.
Right.
Where is the sense in that?
I don't know, dude.
Motherfucker. Yeah, that's strange to me.
Yeah, and the amount of Walking Dead barbed wire bats.
Oh yeah.
And there were some that clearly said on the box, like, this is not a toy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotten real fucking popular.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, motherfuck Walking Dead. Mick Foley was doing that shit fucking 20 years ago. And fuck that, Terry Funk was doing that shit 30 years ago. So Walking Dead can suck my ass.
But the thing that's going to lead us into our next topic, I got other stuff to talk about, but I want to get to this next thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Was Kevin Conroy and Lauren Lester were there, too.
Who?
Kevin Conroy.
No, you're supposed to say Lester? Batman and Robin.
Oh, Batman and Robin were there. Batman and Nightwing were there.
Well, okay.
I mean, that's what he is now.
Yeah, but he's always Robin.
Yeah, I know. But they were there. So this is like the third time I've seen them. Still haven't gotten anything signed by them, but I can't find anything that I feel is worthy enough to go stand in line.
Which, once again, you wouldn't think it would be that hard.
No, you don't. You wouldn't think it would be hard to find something that's cool and interesting and unique. You know, you'd think you would be falling all over like mounds of Batman the Animated Series stuff.
Yeah. You know what you need to do? You need to fucking print out like a screenshot and get it real glossy.
Nah, I mean, something like that I could probably get. They probably have those at their table. I mean, they probably have stacks of 8x10s that they'll sign for you, you know?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying print out a badass one of your own.
Yeah. No, I'd rather have almost like something commissioned or...
Well, I mean...
I'd really like one of those fucking Mondo posters that they did.
Oh, yeah.
There was 2 different ones, I think, that... well, actually, there was one that I saw... I don't know. There's been a couple, actually, that I've found, but they don't have the right Robin on them. They have Tim Drake on them and not Dick Grayson. So it's like, well... So there's been a couple things that I've found that have Batman on it that were cool, but it's like, well, if it doesn't have Robin on it, then I'm not going to have fucking Lauren Lester sign it.
And why the fuck would you have animated series shit with Tim Drake but not have Dick on it, too?
I don't know. But that seems to be most of the stuff that I've found. It's the Tim Drake Robin and not the Dick Grayson Robin.
That's weird.
The stuff that was interesting to me anyway. The stuff that's visually interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, my story, well, his lines were crazy. Lauren Lester's was like sitting there by himself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad. I was like, oh, Because that's how he was in St. Louis, too. It was like, oh, really? Nobody wants to get nothing from... But then Kevin Conroy's line is like fucking
Nobody wants
50
some dick.
deep. No, nobody wants some dick. But let's see, it was the first day, Friday. Molly was getting her picture taken with that Doctor Who chick that I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah.
And it's her last name's Tate. Catherine Tate. That's who it is. I was waiting outside the photo area for her to get done.
Yeah.
Actually, we were standing in the line waiting. I was standing with her in the line.
Yeah.
And I looked over and there's a men's room. The bathrooms are close to the line.
Yeah.
I just happened to look over. I was like, holy shit, there goes Kevin Conroy with his backpack on. The same backpack I saw him with 2 years ago in Chicago. Or no, I guess it was last year. Or maybe it was 2 years ago. When he was just standing by his table waiting for somebody to come pick him up, I guess. He was just hanging out after his booth was closed for the day. He was just hanging out with his backpack on.
Stalkerish, like he had the same backpack too.
It was the same black nylon backpack.
And it had the stain on it and
Well, then you're really going to think this is creepy because I looked over and I'm like, holy shit, there goes Batman. And he's walking like, I don't know, 20 feet from us. And I watch him and he went right into the shitter. I was like, what?
And you know what's even creepier?
What?
You sent me a picture of it.
I did. I sent, not of him going into the bathroom. I sent you a picture of the bathroom door and I was like, guess who just went in there?
Yeah. That's creepy, dude.
What's even creepier is I was like, all right, Malcia, I'm going to go stand over here.
I'm going to go stand over here and watch Batman come out of the bathroom.
I did. I stood off to the side thinking he would turn that direction when he came out of the bathroom and walk past me, but he actually went the other way. But yeah, so I took a picture of him as he walked by after he came out.
Picture and like he just touched his bat dick.
No, he was just in there but it was so fucked up. It was like, and we saw several people go in and use the public bathroom. A couple people. Who was the other person we saw?
Again, that is so weird. Not like your stalkerish bullshit, but like having the celebrities mingle with the fucking normies.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of who the other person was we saw. Who the fuck else did I see use that bathroom? Because it's weird, because it's like right by the lines you stand in for the photo ops.
Out the bathroom.
You kind of do, because like when you're waiting for the pictures, the way they have it arranged, you're standing next to the bathrooms. So you watch people come and go out of the bathroom the whole time you're standing in line.
You get a foul stench, and you're like, that's a bat shit. That is literally bat shit.
It might have been Nicholas Brendan. Oh no, he came out of one of the side curtains and almost ran into somebody. But, Xander from Buffy.
Yeah, wasn't he, like, drugged out or something?
Well, he's got a drinking problem. He's had several instances where he's had...
Yeah, because I remember seeing the promos for Dr. Phil. Wasn't that him?
Oh, was it? Was he on Dr. Phil?
Yeah, I think he was on there once and, like, walked off the set, and then they got him back, and he was like, I'm sorry, I was fucking drunk or high or something that day. And
maybe.
You coming at me, it felt like a personal attack.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil was like, I was trying to help you.
Dr. Phil's a dickhead.
I know he is. I love it so much whenever he's on Kimmel because, like, obviously they're friends and shit, but Kimmel fucking rides his nuts hard.
I have kind of a weird story about them, too, because he was there with Cordelia, Charisma Carpenter. It was fucked up. We were walking in, like, when you walk into that convention center, there's like a covered circle drive in front of the doors, the main entrance. So everybody hangs out on the sidewalk of that circle drive because it's like under part of the building.
Yeah.
And they hang out there and smoke.
What are they smoking, man?
Just cigarettes, unfortunately. It smells like shit. Every time you walk in, it's like, fuck, we got to walk through this cloud of toxic shit just to get in.
Yeah.
But there's like a fountain in there and stuff, and like I said, there's like taxis and shit pull in there and drop people off. And then, anyway, we were walking the second morning, or it might have been after lunch one day. I don't know. We were walking back in, and there was people hanging out smoking or whatever. And walking along the sidewalk, and there's people sitting on the curb smoking and stuff.
Yeah.
And as we're walking by, I looked down, and I just kept walking because I was like, well, that's fucked up. And I realized, like, 2 steps after I passed them, was fucking Nicholas Brendan and Charisma Carpenter sitting on the curb out in front of the convention center smoking. I was like, what?
Both of them though, smoking?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember seeing them actually smoking, but
It's like,
they were
what the
both
fuck
sitting
else
there.
are they doing?
Yeah, they were both sitting there just hanging out with like kind of like with their heads down a little bit. Like, I mean, they were talking to each other, but they were clearly like kind of trying to keep it on the DL, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's
But
like,
yeah,
what the fuck else are they
weird.
doing? They're not sitting there like 20 years ago we were on the hottest show on TV. Now we're sitting in a fucking smoke-filled overhang.
Yeah, but yeah, that was fucking crazy.
Anyway, back to you creeping on Batman.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, he walked out of the bathroom, and I was like, God damn, he just went in there and took a. He was in there a while too. I don't know if he took a shit or. I mean, it's possible. I didn't, really time it, but. But I would imagine he probably went into a stall to piss anyway. I wouldn't be pissing into a urinal if I was famous.
Yeah, because you don't want some fucking dude to crawl up next to you and be like, hey there, oh wow, look at the bat dick. Not too bad, Batman. I see why that codpiece was so big.
Like you said, that's fucked up, like, to see them mingling or having to use, like, they just go into the public restroom, like... No, I mean, just like, just walking through the crowds.
Yeah, be like, excuse me, I have to go shit now.
Yeah.
Just imagine Batman's in there and he's like, "Urgh, urgh," trying to pinch one out.
I don't want to imagine that. That sounds like the thing we're going to talk about next. It belongs in that movie.
It sort of does, because what we're talking about next is...
Batman Harley Quinn. I finished the second half of it, and you got to watch the whole thing. So
I watched the whole thing at once.
I know,
didn't have
you
to
were
stop
lucky.
for 2.5 hours in the middle and talk to some fucking fat, long-haired asshole. What?
What?
Yeah. So, who should go first, you or me, to talk about this more?
Well, since I already talked about like the first half, why don't you go
Yeah.
ahead and start? Let's hear what you have to say, because I watched the rest of it after we recorded the last episode and told you what I thought, the rest of what I thought, and then I was really anxious to see what you said.
Yeah,
Because I knew you were either gonna like it or fucking hate it.
And yeah, I've got one of those reactions.
And I thought you would probably like it, but then
There's always that gray area in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to cut the suspense, I fucking loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not that bad, right? It took a lot more shit than it deserved.
Yeah, because like I didn't read that many reviews. I only read a couple of them, and the ones I read, it's like, what the fuck were they talking about?
Right.
Because a lot of the shit they mentioned, just I don't understand how they perceived that,
or how they focused on that so intently that
well, not even that.
It made it seem like such a bigger deal or bigger part of the movie than what it really was.
Yeah, well, okay, if you want to get specific, like the quote musical sequence,
Yeah.
or sequences, because most of the reviews said there was 2 musical sequences in it that were real weird.
Right. Didn't seem that weird to me.
When you say musical sequence, that sounds to me like the shit that I hate, you know?
Yeah, like a song and dance number or a fucking...
Yeah, it's just like you told me. They went into a fucking bar, and it wasn't technically a karaoke bar, but that's just quibbling over details.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but they went into a
I didn't
bar.
I didn't know how else to explain it really. It wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily karaoke. It was just people going up there and singing.
Yeah, it's like an open mic night type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not quibbling over details, but it wasn't technically a fucking karaoke bar. So, even that. But it's like, it's not a musical sequence. They went into a bar with a fucking stage with basically an open mic night situation going on. And there's these two twins up there, which that part there where they were singing.
Uh-huh.
The one part, I don't know if you caught this or if it's just me being fucked up.
No, I caught it. If you listen to the last episode,
Yeah.
And I said there's a part in there that's really fucked up, and it's like they definitely did that on purpose.
Yeah, where the one
and I said you'll pick it out. I told you you'd pick it out immediately.
Yeah, the one twin is standing, the other one's on his knees, holding the mic by the other's crotch.
It looks like the mic is the guy's dick right in his face.
Yeah, and like his head is bobbing back and forth as he's singing.
Uh-huh. No, that's not just you.
Yeah, okay. See, I haven't heard episode 37 yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't remember you saying that either.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm watching this and I'm
there.
like, what the fuck is going on? Because even before that, like, to me, it really does feel like a lost episode of Batman the Animated Series. It does.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like Batman the Animated Series grew up.
Yeah.
And I saw your two tweets where you said something about there's a few unnecessary swears.
Yeah.
So I'm going in looking for like hardcore shit. Like,
no,
I was
not
looking
hardcore.
for somebody to be like, "Watch out, cocksucker! I want to punch him,"
No.
or something like that. But if you hadn't said anything about it, I wouldn't have really bumped into
it wouldn't even have probably registered.
Yeah, there was like I think 3 shits and a goddamn.
Yeah. A couple asses and a couple,
but
one
like
of them nothing.
Shit.
Yeah, and nothing that's like,
Oh!
nothing that's like hardcore. It's just more like, well, that's weird. They didn't need. That was like unnecessary to use that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was unnecessary, but at the same time, it's like it wasn't something to bump up against.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like, oh fuck this shit.
Yeah.
But it was kind of weird, like, oh, well, fuck, now I can't show this to my kids.
Yeah,
now it's gonna be hard to let my kids watch this.
Yeah, but see, at the same time, that felt a lot like because most of it was Harley.
Yeah,
she's got a mouth on her, that girl.
Yeah,
and that to me felt sort of in line with like I guess it's a headcanon character backstory that I've sort of developed for like a girl who grew up like almost in like a slum, and she turned herself into a doctor and then got twisted by Joker.
Yeah.
Because you don't develop those skills, her fucking fighting skills and shit like that after a twisted clown fucks with your brain.
Yeah.
So I always figured like she had sort of a hard life until she pulled herself out of it and became a psychiatrist. So, like, her being like, stop the car! And beating up that dude and, you know...
Oh, yeah, I thought that was
him,
fucking weird.
It. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's somebody that stood her up for prom or something.
Yeah.
Fucking something that happened 20 years ago.
But at the same time, it's like...
It's like, oh, she's fucking crazy. Yeah. Yeah, she's batshit crazy.
And I do remember the one thing you said, like, the music was off.
Yeah, the music was terrible.
Yeah, that would be my biggest complaint. The music sucked. Shirley Walker is sorely missed.
Yeah. And they did eventually, I think in 37, I said the first half, they hadn't used any of the themes or anything. In the second half, they do, when they're flying in the Batwing, they do bring in the classic animated series theme.
Did they? Because I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, but it's arranged a little different, and it's, you know, like the instruments and stuff. The instruments and stuff are all electronic and stuff, so it sounds fucked up.
Okay, that's probably why
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I was like, oh, there's the or the. It's not that part, but part of that theme is in there.
Okay, and this could explain it because there's the music's by 3 different people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, according to the back cover that you gave me.
Yeah.
Of the disc you gave me, it looks like it's Christopher Carter, Michael, don't know how to pronounce that, and Lolita Ritmanis.
Okay.
But yeah, the fucking music was just terrible, dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt really didn't fit, didn't didn't feel Batman the Animated Series at all.
No, it felt too cartoony and over the top.
Exactly. It felt too cartoony. And that's something I thought about too after watching the second half, was like, this felt almost like the animated series crossed with Brave and the Bold.
Oh, you mean the movie itself or the music?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the movie itself. Like some of the comical stuff or the more absurd situations and stuff felt like it came straight out of like Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, I can sort of see that. And like when the barroom brawl happened and they kicked in with the 66 flashes on the screen.
Yeah.
And the last one was "Ow my balls."
Ow my balls.
Which that was weird.
That was weird. It kind of made me chuckle though because I'm immature.
Oh, it did. But yeah, that was weird to all of a sudden go there with it.
Yeah.
Melissa Rauch as Harley.
Yeah.
Let's talk about her a bit.
Starts out rough. Starts out hitting your ear like not good.
Yeah, it starts out like, that ain't Harley.
Yeah, but she grows on you, right? And by the end, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. She's pretty good.
Yeah, at the start, it's like, that ain't Harley.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like her at all. And by the end of it, it's like, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing her do another one. I mean, if I had my choice, I would always say go with Arlene, but, you know, she retired from voicing Harley, so it's not really an option.
Right.
So it's like, second best, go with Tara.
Right.
But apparently they wanted a name, in quotes, on it, so...
Yeah. I will tell you this. I can't remember who did... Hold on one second. I gotta look it up before I say something stupid here.
What character are you talking about?
Harley.
Okay. In what?
Lego Batman movie.
Oh, I don't know.
It was...
You know what I find weird?
Jenny
real quick,
Slate.
Though? Okay.
Jenny Slate. Oh, she's that chick from Saturday Night Live. I didn't realize that. I mean, I didn't realize she had... That's who did her voice.
Okay. What about...
But from what I remember, I would rather have Melissa Rauch do Harley Quinn than this chick that did it in the Batman Lego movie.
Yeah, because I remember you saying it didn't feel particularly Harley-ish.
No.
Yeah, that was, I think, one of your main issues with that is that nobody felt like they were voicing the characters. It just felt like they were coming in doing it.
Yeah.
In their own voices.
Exactly.
Other than Will Arnett, even though his voice basically is that. But
yeah,
he does put a little bit of, hey, I'm Batman now, into it.
Yeah, everybody else was pretty much... I mean, I guess Rosario was okay, because, I mean, she's just doing Batgirl, so it's just... sounds like a girl.
Yeah.
But everybody else was kind of shitty.
You know what I noticed about this, though? I don't think... Spoilers for anybody who might be interested in this. I don't think they actually credit Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out who the fuck that was, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. So, like, that's
why I
that's
brought
my
it up,
big... Yeah, that's... The second half of the movie is going along just fine and great and dandy. But then the ending is just so dumb. That was my biggest problem. Like, fuck the Batmobile fart joke. Fuck the sex scene.
That didn't bother me.
No. But the ending was, like, so dumb that it was like, what the fuck? Why?
And it's a series of dumb events, really, the ending of it.
It really is, yeah.
Because
it really is.
It starts... The whole movie is it's Ivy and the Floronic Man are trying to turn humans into plants so they'll take care of the planet better.
Right.
Which
okay,
I
makes
know,
sense.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like a bullshit fucking, oh, now we've got to hear a fucking lecture about this, but it makes sense with Ivy's whole motivation since, forever.
Yeah.
So, they've got to go to the swamp, or they're trying to develop a formula to do that, but regular water and swamp water and shit doesn't work, so they've got to go to Louisiana to the swamp where Swamp Thing was created because they think that might be the only swamp that has the right conditions to make the formula work. So they go there. There's a big, long battle that basically ends with Harley and Ivy fighting each other.
Right.
And they come
Harley
to a
loses.
standstill.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess Harley loses, and Ivy's just about to flip the switch, so to speak, on the plan, and Harley's like, "Don't make me do it," and it's like, "Whoa, shit, does she got a fucking ace in the hole? What's going on here?" She's, "Don't make me do it, Red."
Yeah, I thought she was gonna like do something really drastic.
Yeah, I thought maybe she had a fucking another weed killer thing, pellet or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Don't make me do it, Red." And fucking Ivy turns to her and is like, "No,
She's
don't."
like, "No, don't do it." She's like, "Yes, the nuclear option."
Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, she is. She's gonna drop a weed killer pellet and fuck up Poison Ivy. And they hold on Harley, and all of a sudden her lip starts twitching and her eyes start watering, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so she like basically just starts to cry, and then Ivy's like, "Oh fuck this plan! I can't do it. Oh, I love you, Harley."
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck?
Which was kind of dumb-ish, but I could get like, okay, I could see like an episode of this show ending like that. Okay, I get it.
That you can get past, but then Floronic Man comes up and he's like, "What the fuck is this shit? What are you two doing? Fuck you! I'm going through with the plan." And Ivy's like, "No, just don't do it." Floronic Man's getting ready to do it. Batman and Nightwing are there. They're broken and bloodied and shit. And he's getting ready to dump the serum or whatever. Then all of a sudden the trees open up. The moon's shining bright in the sky.
Yeah, a fucking shaft of life comes down and like
the water
lights up
bubbling.
the whole swamp, and yeah, the fucking fireflies and shit flying around and shit.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking Swamp Thing. It's this fucking gigantic fucking 3-story Swamp Thing comes up out of the swamp, and it's like, oh, cool. I guess he's gonna be the Deus Ex Machina and save everybody at the last minute. That whole sequence like took like 5 minutes from the time that the trees started to open up to where he like slowly like rises out of the swamp, and there's all this dramatic music and this whole big thing, and
he
talks
big speech
really slow, and so he gives this big long slow speech, and basically
he's like,
of
the speech, it's like, okay, he's gonna give him shit, he's gonna beat up Floronic Man, and it's gonna be done, because he's like,
right,
what you're doing is bad, and then he's
but
like,
who am I to judge?
Yeah,
fuck it, do whatever you're gonna do, and then he goes back into the swamp.
Yeah, but he says something about, I've got to talk to the Council of Trees or some shit like that. And
yeah,
it's like, so wait, we're gonna have a fucking Ent mount here?
No, it sounded like he was like, I gotta go now. I got a meeting with the Council of Trees. I don't think it had anything to do with what was going on. I think he had other business he was going to deal with. But it was like, well, then what the fuck did you even show up for?
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was saying that, like, he had to talk with them to see if it was bad or something. But I don't know. At that point, I'm just like, because his speech was going to the point where he's like, I'm just making a cameo to make a cameo.
That's exactly what it was. It was like this big build-up to Swamp Thing coming and saving the day, and he's like, fuck it, see you guys later.
Yeah, and then he starts sinking back down. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Then I kept thinking he was going to be like, oh, never mind, and reach out and squash Floronic Man or something.
No.
But he doesn't. He just sinks back into the swamp and disappears, and Floronic Man starts laughing like, I can't believe I'm going to get away with this.
Yeah, and then, so he's getting ready to dump the serum again, and it's like, oh shit, the planet's fucked. And then Harley's like, I've got an idea. And Batman and Robin are like, what? Yeah, then she's like, anybody got a match? They kiss her cheek, the match lights, cut to black.
Yeah, that's it. That's
credits start rolling.
They're supposedly going to light the Floronic Man on fire somehow.
Yeah, credits start rolling, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then, did you see the next part after that?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
I didn't even realize there was an after credits.
There was 2 credit scenes, a mid credits and an after credit.
Oh, I don't think I saw either one of them.
Okay, the credits roll for a minute, and then the screen's black, and it fades in, and you hear... Floronic Man comes running through, lit on fire.
Oh, jeez.
Catches 2 trees on fire, branches fall into the swamp, and that's it. He just runs through the frame, and it fades to black, the credits roll again. So again, I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Credits keep rolling, and there's like nearly 10 minutes left in the movie.
Oh my.
And I'm like, I've seen these DC movies before. The credits aren't 10 minutes. They're like 3 or 4 at best. So I sped up and got through the credits, and I was like, okay. And then it's you're brought into a therapy session between Harley and this dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And she's talking to him about how he can win a year of free therapy. And it cuts wide, and there's a studio audience, and it's like a quarter set of like a therapist's office.
Yeah.
And she's like, you can win a year of therapy if you just make it through this. And they cut over, and it's like a mash between Ninja Warrior and that show that used to be on ABC, Wipeout.
Yeah.
And this dude's got to make his way through this obstacle course to potentially win a year of free therapy because she is not a licensed therapist. She's just a TV therapist. So he'll get a year of real therapy, and I'm like, the fuck am I watching?
The fuck?
Yeah, so like they show him trying to climb a cargo net. He falls down into the water. He's on a platform that's got a spinning... I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a platform with a spinning thing, and there's these 2 arms on it that are, spinning.
Yeah.
And he ducks over one, he jumps over another, the next one fucking knocks him off the platform into the water. So there's like 1 or 2 more, and then the big thing from Wipeout, the jumping on the balls.
Okay.
He does that, falls into the water, she comes up with a microphone, she's like, oh, that sucks, you lost, so no therapy for you, or something like that, and it's like, what the fuck? And the whole crowd's like, oh. It was dumb. But yeah, the whole crowd's like, oh. And then fade to black, the Warner Brothers animation logo comes up, and it's done. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I've always said, like, to me, it's more about the journey than the destination. I've said that how many times in the last 37 episodes?
Yeah.
But it's like, this destination was like getting shit in your face.
Yeah. It was. It felt like they didn't know how to end it, so they were just like, we'll just do this.
Yeah, let's just do some weird shit and see what happens.
Right.
Because again, up until that point, it was like, this is awesome. It feels like an episode of the show. And like you said, even though it was kind of dumb, the Harley crying thing, if it had ended right there, it would have been like, kind of dumb, but it feels like the show.
Yeah.
It feels like the type of thing where it's like, shit.
It feels like in the spirit of the show,
minutes. Yeah. It feels like the thing, though, where it's like, shit, we've got 22 minutes and we're at minute 20. We got to end this bitch. Because sometimes that show did feel like that, where it's like, we've done this really in-depth story, but it would be too complicated to get out of this, so fuck it. Like, start crying. So if it had ended there, it would have been like, this is amazing. This is one of the best DCUA movies they've done.
Yeah.
And then fucking Floronic Man and Swamp Thing and the fire thing, and then the Dr. Phil meets fucking Ninja Warrior thing happened, and it was like, what the fuck? And I guess that after credit scene was supposed to be a callback to when Nightwing was like, you're a trained therapist. You could fucking make money. You don't have to be getting your fucking tits groped every night in this bar.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of fun. The Super Babes. She was a waitress in this Hooters type bar, but it was like superhero themed, so she basically was herself.
Yeah. She
was
was
a waitress.
Whore Harley, the Harley that I hate, that's like the fucking low-cut dress and the mini skirt and
the
the open stomach.
Right.
With the black and red hair, and yeah, I hate that version of Harley. So it was funny that they actually used it in an interesting way.
Yeah, and they actually reference it. Like, she even says later, she's like, everybody tells me I'm a whore, or like something, or a hooer.
Yeah.
And and she's like,
I'm not just a common hooer.
Yeah.
Which actually, you remember that weird Batman Elseworlds thing, or Justice League Elseworlds thing that Bruce Timm was doing, where he was reimagining all the DC characters?
No.
Oh, well, in that he was talking about how he didn't really like the horror Harley costume. Yeah. And, like, he made Harley a vampire or something in that.
Oh.
Because it was like a horror-tinged reimagining of the DCU.
Okay.
Or something like that. But yeah. So I know that was specifically his.
Yeah. Speaking of Bruce Timm, did you know he was the voice of Booster Gold in that movie?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I was looking to see who was Swamp Thing and see if it said it on IMDb.
Does it?
Yep.
Who is it?
John DiMaggio.
Huh. So John DiMaggio actually did a voice that didn't sound like his own.
Yeah.
Because I had no fucking clue who it was.
Didn't sound like Bender.
He did voice like 2 characters in the movie though that it's like, oh, there's John DiMaggio.
Yeah, Sergeant somebody and.
Oh yeah, Sergeant Steele.
Wasn't it? Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, that's John DiMaggio.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, I did really like his Aquaman on Brave and the Bold.
Oh yeah.
His super arrogant.
Kind of arrogant.
Super arrogant, kind of dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that version of him.
Yeah, that's sort of what I think of. That or the Smallville version where he was like basically an eco-terrorist.
Oh, okay.
Where, on Smallville it was like, you guys are destroying the ocean because Lex was developing this bomb this device that would basically kill all the fish within like a 2-mile area or something of wherever they would set off this device.
Mm-hmm.
So he showed up and was like, not on my watch, and like set a bomb on this device and was trying to blow it up, and Clark stopped him.
Oh, shit.
And that was kind of their first meeting. And he was real like, look, bro, this is what you've got to do. They're destroying the oceans, and we kind of let them, okay? But yeah, with an eco-terrorist twist to it. I like both of those versions. But yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I wasn't too disappointed with this movie.
You know?
Yeah.
But overall, if like I had to give it a score, I'd give it like 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5.
Yeah, that's about what I would give it. I think last time I said I had seen 6 out of 10, and I thought that was maybe a little bit low. Maybe that was a little bit too harsh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say between 6 and 7.5, maybe.
Yeah. It did seem like they were trying to go for more awkward humor, though, than just balls out laughs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, there was a lot of deadpan Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his reactions to, like when he caught Nightwing and Harley Quinn, like, the morning after they fucked.
Yeah.
And he's, like, looking around. He's, like, looking at the clues.
Yeah.
He's, like, looking from them to, like, the dirty underwear on the floor and shit. And then he's like, And then he just looks
on
at
the bedpost.
Yeah, and he just looks at Nightwing and he like hangs his head, and Batman's just like stone faced.
Yeah, doesn't Nightwing say something about like we all have needs or something?
Something like I don't remember. Something like that. And then it's so stupid, but it did make me kind of laugh. When she farts in the Batmobile and he's making such a big deal out of it, then Batman's like, it's not that bad. Like, quit being such a pussy. You know?
Yeah, his smells like discipline or whatever.
Yeah. I still don't know what that's supposed to mean.
What does that even mean, man?
I don't know.
Well, I think, didn't Nightwing say that too? He's like, what does that even mean, man?
I think he might have, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means either.
But then she keeps doing it and it gets progressively worse. And then finally he gives up and he's like, fuck this shit. Pulls over.
What it was is she's like, you might want to pull over.
Oh, she ate a bad burrito or something.
Yeah, because they had just had an argument about her distractions because it was right after she's like, stop the car!
Oh, yeah.
She jumped out and beat
chased
up
down the guy for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's sitting in the back and she goes, you might want to pull over. And he's like, why? And she goes, because I ate a bad burrito and my stomach's tore up back here.
Yeah.
And Batman doesn't say anything, and she's like, did you hear me? And I think he either says something about, like, no more of your bullshit, or he ignores her, and she's like, have it your way, then.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she lights it up.
Yeah, and I think I remember you now saying in 37 that, like, the sound effects were, like, over the top.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they were, because it's a real...
Yeah, it was a little... I mean, it was ridiculously...
type thing, and she's just sitting there with her arms crossed, because wasn't it a 3-shot?
Yeah,
those two in the front and her in the back. She's just sitting there, arms crossed.
Yeah.
And this fucking overly comical fucking
right
shit's going on, and then Nightwing reacts immediately. It wasn't as bad as some of the reviews made it seem. It made sense given, like, all the goofy shit she had done up to that point.
Yeah, it made sense. I just the execution, some of the execution of it was, I was like, yeah, they could have done that a little bit more subtly. They
could have, yeah. I agree with that, but like I said, in the reviews, they made it seem like it was
they crucified him for that.
Uneven, and nothing made sense. And it's like, if you pay attention, most of the shit that you guys are complaining about, it fits within the narrative of what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a recommend.
Yep, recommend. Guess I can kind of be a pseudo pimp spot.
Yeah, I can. For a second, it sounded like it was turning into a fuck this shit.
Yeah.
But that ending, though, it's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it was really cheap and really dumb. It really did just feel like they ran out of ideas. They were like, meh.
Ran out of time,
like it was a cop-out.
Yeah. And they wanted to use all these elements, but...
Yeah, that's kind of almost what it was. Is like they ran out of budget. It was like, okay, we'll bring Swamp Thing in at the end, and there'll be a big fight at the end, and he'll defeat the Floronic Man and save the day. And then they got down to it, and it was like, dude, we don't have any fucking money left. Okay, well, then I guess he'll just say bye, and then we'll just light him on fire. Yeah, and then we'll just do something we could have done like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's all it takes is to light him on fire, why did they fucking do that to begin with?
Yeah, I mean...
Why the fuck is... Don't you think Batman would have figured that out? He's the world's greatest detective. Wouldn't he have been just throw fucking...
and that's another thing. What was up with those fucking magical yams?
The magical yam?
That
yeah. The
that
fucking, like, the hallucinogen... Too. Well, it was like a fucking yam that he got off of Swamp Thing's dead body. Like, when he had temporarily killed him or something. He picked off a bunch of these yams that were growing on him.
And they're like hallucinogenic teleportation yams.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, and he made Ivy eat it, and he ate it, and then they like fucking tripped balls, and then it let them to like be able to travel through the green like the Swamp Thing does.
Yeah.
So they like disappeared through a tree and shit. It was fucked up.
Yeah, and then they left the bag with all their research, and he's like, oops, I forgot, and reached back in and grabbed it, and was like, or reached back out of the tree and grabbed it. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. I was like, that's fucking weird too.
Yeah.
But anywho, we're 2 hours and 8 minutes in.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked about the con too much. We're not going to be able to get to the 9 stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I mean, we can I'll briefly just say that like they just fucking shit canned Colin Trevorrow from Star Wars Episode 9.
Do you want to ditch fuck this shit again this episode and go into it just a little bit?
Okay.
As you said, yeah, they shit canned Colin Trevorrow, and now Episode 9 technically has no director. It has a director, they just haven't announced it, I can guarantee you.
Oh, I'm sure they had somebody lined up, just like they did with Ron Howard. Like, I mean, it was days.
Yeah.
It was only days after they got rid of the other guys, and they're like, I mean, was it even like 2 days? It was not very long.
At the most, it was 3.
Yeah.
So
it was like almost immediately somebody was like, "Oh, they got Ron Howard to do it," and then it was only like a day later that they made the official announcement.
Yeah, like I said, at the most it was 3.
Yeah.
Because I think it might have been 3 because there was like they announced it and then there was a whole day of like, oh shit, what's gonna happen?
Right.
And then the next day, the rumor that Ron Howard was gonna do it popped up, and I was like, that's a weird choice. And then the next day, they announced Ron Howard was doing it.
Right.
So, but yeah, episode 9's without a director. How do you feel about that?
I was surprised when it happened and a little shaken by it, but I think it'll be for the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, like news is kind of leaking out now that the reason they fired him was Kathy Kennedy was pissed off at him because he's a dick.
Yeah.
He's apparently a fucking egomaniac or something.
Yeah, because apparently fucking Jurassic World did good, and all of a sudden he was like, I run this bitch now.
Right. And like he didn't want to, just like Phil Lord and the other dude was like, we're doing our shit. We're doing the movie our way. And Lucasfilm's like, no, you're not. And they're like, yeah, we are. And they're like, no, you're not. And they're like, well, yeah, we are.
Sort of like that, but they didn't seem like they were like, no, this is how it's being done. It sounds like Trevorrow was like, this is how it's getting done because I'm Colin Trevorrow, goddammit.
Right. Yeah, they said he spent a lot of his creative energy expressing his opinion, is what they said.
Yeah. It seemed almost like Lord and Miller were like, well, this is what we do. Why hire us if this isn't what you want done?
Yeah, I guess that's true. It was more like they were just doing their style. They're doing their thing. Yeah. And Lucasfilm was like, oh shit, this is not what we wanted.
Yeah. So it didn't sound like ego came into play there. It just seemed
no.
They wanted something different, and they were like, but that's not what we do.
They're saying that like it's probably going to be Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
That they get to do it. No, you got to give me that, buddy. I'm on the phone with.
I need something.
So do I, Frank. It's called privacy.
Wait, I need that lunchbox for you.
No, you can't have my lunchbox either.
Dad,
what?
Once your toys get clean, then you take them out and open them?
No, I'm not going to open those probably. Those are old. I'm probably not going to open those.
Maybe one of these are going to open though?
Maybe. Probably not though. I let you open those Batmans earlier.
Which ones?
The ones that you're playing with upstairs right now. The Legend of the Dark Knight Batmans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You're playing with my superpowers Batman.
Look at that Iron Man film.
Yeah. It's my Iron Man picture. Lord.
Wait. Can I see that guy with the...
Which, speaking of, you're going to have to tell us a story about that Iron Man picture.
Oh, okay.
Because you kind of sprung that on Twitter last week before we started recording.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah, I can tell that next time.
Why there's 2 Star Wars figures?
I don't know, bud. Can I finish my thing real quick? I'm almost done, baby.
I need your phone so bad.
I know. You can have it after I'm done with this. I need it because I'm actually on a phone call. You can't just take the phone away. Oh, fuck. Okay, but yeah, I think they're saying like Rian Johnson is the front runner.
Yeah.
Which I know you're kind of against that. You'd rather have 3 different visions.
Yeah. I want it to be like the original trilogy. If, JJ didn't want to do the second one, it's like, fuck it, then let's get 3 different voices.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. But I mean, if they do decide to go with Rian Johnson, it makes sense.
It does make sense, but at the same time, it's just like it feels sort of wrong to do that, you know? I don't know why, it just does.
Yeah.
Like, if they announced...
I'm less concerned about the director, actually, than I am about the fact that they have to rewrite the script.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a couple episodes ago, didn't we? Because that came out a little bit ago.
Yeah, that came out... Yeah, that they were bringing in somebody to rewrite. And I'm sure that also had something to do with it, because Colin Trevorrow wrote the script for that, didn't he?
No, I think Ryan wrote it.
Oh, did he?
And what it probably is, though, is like Ryan wrote it and Colin was like, ain't good enough!
Yeah.
If he's as dictatorial as they're saying. So, yeah, but if they announce tomorrow, like, fucking Rian Johnson's directing the Obi-Wan movie, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I just think we need 3 distinct voices on the main saga.
Yeah. Well, I think it's either going to be him, or they'll get a woman to do it. They'll get a woman director. I've seen a lot of pressure to pick a woman. So
yeah,
everybody's get Patty Jenkins to do it. I'm like, she just did Wonder Woman. She doesn't need to do this.
And she's gearing up to do Wonder Woman too.
Yeah, she's not.
She's fucking busy.
That seems as likely as getting George Lucas to do it.
That's retarded. But yeah, there's been a lot of pressure since they announced Rian Johnson, I think, as the director for Episode 8. It's like, Kathy Kennedy, you're a woman. You should be hiring a woman. Which, that gets into the whole thing that I've got a problem with, where it's like, you can't pick who's right for the job anymore. You've got to check off boxes.
Right.
You know? So, but let's not get into that, because that's a deep discussion. But yeah.
Honestly, I don't care as long as the movie turns out okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way, but again, like I said, I feel like it would be beneficial to the overall makeup of Star Wars to have 3 different distinct looks on it or takes on it in this new trilogy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But if they don't, I'm not going to be like, fuck it, then I'm not going to see it. You know?
Yeah. I just don't want the 3rd movie in this trilogy to turn out or to end up being kind of a semi-clusterfuck like Return of the Jedi was.
Yeah.
Where there was so much behind the scenes drama of producer and director and conflicting visions, and
yeah,
and I mean it ended up fine, but it could have been better.
Rumors or flat out people have said it that George did a lot of the directing on Episode 6.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because
he was basically on set every day.
Yeah. And isn't that like why he chose the Redwoods for Endor? Is so like he could be there?
I don't know if that was true, but
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case, but he was definitely
I've
definitely
heard in the past
way
that, like,
hands-on.
He wanted it there so he could be there and be like, no, this is how it needs to be fucking done, goddammit.
Right. Yeah, so by the time we meet again, they'll probably have announced a director.
I would hope so.
I think they will.
But at this point, it's been like, what, 3 days? 3 days? 2 days? 1 day? How long's it been?
3 days, maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So it seems like they're taking more time to announce it with this because, I mean, they've got time. With this, it's not coming out, like, now. It's, 17 months away? They haven't even started shooting yet.
Right.
Aren't they going to start shooting in, like, January or February?
I think so, yeah. Early next year.
Yeah, so they don't really need to fucking be like, okay, here's the director. He's starting next week. Like with Ron Howard, all of a sudden he's like, oh, he's on set now. He's doing it. And, he started tweeting pictures.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's weird too. That's been approved by Lucasfilm, but isn't it weird to have somebody on set being like, Chicky, look what's happening here.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But anywho, No fuck this shit, right?
Right.
So let's get into whoring. Thanks to J Sarge for our music. Thanks to @SherrySays for the logo. And thanks to @JP Montgomery for taking those promo shots for us back in, January. That's been almost a year now. Fuck. Thanks to you three for your contributions. Find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud. We're part of the High Altitude Podcast Network at highaltpod.net. And find everything at nerdblitz.com. Search Nerdblitz on YouTube. Find episodes, swear reels, and a bunch of other shit there. Get some merch. Go to redbubble.com/people/nerdblitzpod/shop. Who knows? We might have a new design before the end of the year. Wink. And then get the camping trip and the pilots, and maybe something new soon. No, not maybe. Definitely, there's going to be something new before the end of the year on our Bandcamp. Go to tsdjaproductions.bandcamp.com. Check out all the shit that's already there and get prepared for what's coming. We'll probably talk about that next time, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it is technically done, isn't it?
Yeah. Waiting for approval.
Yeah, and we've got to get the... we'll talk about it next time. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at the Scooby-Doom. You are...
At Fitzman73.
And together we're at NerdBlitzPod. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Nope.
If there's nothing else...
Bye.
Come back next time. Our sanity depends on it. Yes, Earthling. Puny bastards.
Oh shit, I just shot Marvin in the face.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hit no fucking bump, yes.
No, that turned Kermity.
Like, hi ho, Kermit the Frog. I did not hit a bump, you motherfucker.
Okay, yeah. See you next time, everybody! We're approaching 40 episodes! This has been a feature of JJ2E Media and TSDJA Productions.